Yes, this is the curse of the hanging man. It tells from the forest fairy tales. Once upon a time, in the forest, the dogs were barking. They was looking and searching for a missing old lady, a 76-year-old lady, right by the banks of the river. They found her. And people was looking around for more evidence, and they found a jacket. When they found the jacket, they knew immediately who it belonged to because of the letters and the name on the back, who it belonged to, a track star at the old high school. So the crowd started marching to the young man's house. He's on the porch getting his hair braided by his mother. And his mother looks and amazed because she sees a crowd, a mob, a white mob coming up the street to a black family's house. And she knew it could be nothing but trouble. As they approached, the young man noticed, that's my jacket that he loaned to a friend that was cold, coming home from school, a late night dance. So the guy jumps up and takes off running fast as he can. His mom yells, "No, stop, why are you running?" "I didn't do it, Mom, I didn't do it." He runs, but he knows that in those times there was no excuses. You had no. As he ran through the woods, running, the mob followed behind. With his great speed, he had a big lead, a great lead. The dogs were released. Roof, roof, roof. He's running through the forest. He's running. His mom chasing, falling behind the mob, calling his name, crying. He's running. He stops at the bank, exhausted. A great track star, afraid to swim. He can't cross the water, so the mob is closing in on him. They grabs him. They drags him. They pull him to the nearest hanging tree. They put the latch around his neck, lasso it up. They pulling him up the tree. His mom screamed, "No, not my son." She's slapped to the ground by the sheriff's brother. The mob began to beat her and set her on fire. She's reaching out, and her son is reaching down as he's being hung by a tree. She's stuck reaching for her son. He's reaching for his mom. "No, let him go. He didn't do it. He didn't do it." As the black lady cries as she's seen her son hanging while she's being burned alive. The crowd begins to cheer, "Yes, yes, yes." Victory is won. He had to pay for the crime that he's committed. So the mob begins to celebrate and march back to town. So everybody's excited. Yeah. They just hung a man and celebrated. 50 years later, an old man coming home from working in the field from sundown to sunup. He walks to his house and opens his door. And he walks into the bedroom to let his wife know he's home. When he opened the door to the bedroom, he screams as he sees a horrifying sight of blood splattered all over the wall. His wife is dismantled. He picks up the phone and telephones the police. Everybody comes over. By that time, the whole community is gathered inside the house outside, wondering who could have done this. There's no witnesses or anybody, so they have to bring the guy in for questioning and talk to him. And he explains what happened. It's a tight-knitted community of all white people. So they let him go. Soon as he was let go, while he was in the interview room, they had another phone call. Another gruesome murder had occurred in the same community. So they rush over and someone has been mutilated again. While they're investigating, they get another call. Another murder. This time, they identified him. So they asked the guy the description. They gave it to him. And he said it was him. Tar Baby. The old track star. So everybody laughed. Ha! That can't be. He's been dead over 50 years. Another call in. We seen him running from the house as we were tending the fields. This can't be, said the sheriff. There's only one way to find out. We have to find the burial site. Any information on this Tar Baby track star. So then again, another fall. Another body drops in the community. What could it be? The Tar Baby is alive. The police department is in an outrage. They are having a big investigation. Everybody find any leads on this Tar Baby. Find his gravesite, anything. That night, the sheriff gathered everybody that was in the investigation to the river to look for the burial by the tree where Tar Baby was hung. They couldn't find a gravesite that was over 50 years old. So they said, who did the hanging? It was old Mr. Thomas. So they said, let's go to Mr. Thomas' house. So they went to Mr. Thomas' house. One investigation, there was pulled out a newspaper of that day when they took a picture of Victory of him hanging Tar Baby. And they said, Mr. Thompson, where is the body of Toby that you pulled down after we hung him? He said, I can't remember. That's over 50 years old. They like, you got to remember. Look at this paper, this newspaper. So he like, oh yeah, I remember. I went back to town with everybody else to celebrate. I didn't bury the body. I didn't take them down. Matter of fact, after hanging, I don't even bury the body. I chop it up and sell it as alligator bait. But that particular day, I went to celebrate, have a few drinks. Maybe my assistant took him down. Who is that? Oh, that's old George. So off they went to George's place. George, what do you remember about the death of Toby that was hanged? And you supposed to got rid of the body. You said, no, old Tom did that. I only do it when he forget. So you mean to tell me you didn't do it either? No, not that particular day. Oh no. So now they're thinking maybe he didn't die. What could have happened? So the sheriff decides to go home. Later that night, he was awoke by a loud noise moving by the window. So he grabs his gun, he runs, he's seeing shadows flash by his windows. The third window he looks, pops up Toby. He looks closer, the window breaks. A hand tries to grab him. He shoots, pow, pow, pow. He jumps out the window. He's running. There's a black shadow running fast. He shoots, pow, 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 pow. Oh my God, it's true. The cop. Hello, everybody, come to the station immediately. Now the sheriff, he's taking a ride back to the deep country side. He figured he'd give the old priest a visit. So he's driving. It's 5 or 6 in the morning. He had a phone call from the police department. Sheriff, where are you? I think I'm going to investigate a little more. So once he get there, he knocks on the door. The preacher looks. Who is it? It's Sheriff. Why do you come to disturb me this late? He said, we need to talk. I need to come in. Sunday is service, not Halloween night. He said, this is serious, so he let him in. He said, what troubles you, young man? He said, I have something to tell you. The preacher said, would you like any tea or coffee? He said, coffee will be fine. So as they sat down at the table, he began to explain to him. He said, priest, is there such thing as the living dead? What do you mean? What are you trying to say? He said, 50 years ago, we hung a man, Tar Baby. And there's been a couple of murders in town. And I've seen him, and several witnesses have seen him. So he's alive. So the priest was like, how did he die? We hung him. So the pastor, he went to his library and pulled out a book of hanging. He said, where did you bury him? He said, that's the problem. They didn't bury him. So he looked in a book and he found the curse of the hanging man. He said, don't you know, Sheriff, when you leave a body hanging on a tree overnight, God cursed the land. So he's cursed. So he's might not be resting. So he might be coming back in revenge. So it might be an exorcism, or I might have to capture this thing. So he said, come back to town and we'll search for him so you can put the spell and cast him to hell where he should be. So the priest agreed and grabbed his bags and they set off to town. to capture Tar Baby, who risen on Halloween night, the anniversary of his death, of his guilty death. He was convicted of a crime. So finally they made it back to town. And they rushed into the police department where they was having a meeting. And the sheriff said, I have here with me the priest. He should help us in this investigation because we're dealing with something that is not human, something unnatural that the police cannot fight alone. So one guy looks and said, oh, it's Halloween, and we know that it's gonna be a lot of cows in. So everybody looking at the TV, a parade is going down, a festival, carnivals. So they was looking, the reporter got attacked by a zombie. And you say, wow, these effects now are so real. It's scary. And everybody start running on TV. Screaming, oh. They were like, whoa, this is not science fiction. This is real. This actually happened. So everybody rushed, let's make it down to the fair. So all the police run out the police department. And they run to the fair and they get there. And they calling, hey, do not shoot it. So while he was on the phone, all they heard was pow. I said, don't shoot him. We need to study this thing, whatever it is. So when they got there, Toby was on the ground, completely lifeless. The sheriff ran over, what have y'all done? One man, what'd you expect? A black man attacking a white reporter? He has no chance. Sorry, we shot him. So the priest was like, okay, can I go home now? It's Halloween. The case is over. He's dead. Take me home, please. Because I don't want to be around this celebration of the dead, the ungodly activities. So he said, fine. So they driving home. The hearse got the body. They driving. He reaches back and grabs the driver and cuts him and cuts his neck out. He drives and crashes into the forest. Cars pile up. Pow, 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 pow. The sheriff gets a call. The hearse just crashed. There's people that see Toby running into the woods.